Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm a huge fan of Eric Clapton. Everything from his guitar playing and his tone and his impact on history. And me being a guitar nerd, I noticed that whenever you look him up, you stumble upon the tones he was getting with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers in the Beano album. You know, the Les Paul into a cranked Marshall Blues Breaker, such an iconic tone. I love that album, love that playing. Just the whole thing is just perfect. However, for this video, I'm actually looking to recreate and talk about a very different tone from a very different era. So let's talk a little bit about history here. When Cream disbanded in the late 60s, Eric Clapton formed another band named Blind Faith. And that band only released one studio album. However, they had a lot of live performances that some of them were recorded, which is great. So one of these great performances was in London Hyde Park in 1969. I'm gonna link up the video somewhere in the description or on the screen. I'm not affiliated with the channel that posted this video. I just think it's a great performance and it's one of my favorite by him and in general. So one of the best things about that performance is that the guitar tone at the time was super unique. So Blind Faith actually used to have a more folky kind of approach to rock and blues rock music, and that tone was just fitting that very well. So the point of this video is not to recreate this tone very accurately. The point here is to get close or something that is inspired by. Because I think if you're trying to get a specific guitar tone 100%, you're basically chasing the dragon and it's never gonna happen. Now, I'm the kind of person that would spend hours looking up guitar tones and what my favorite artists used in which band, etc. So I noticed that he was using a 50s Fender Telecaster for that performance. And he was plugging it right into a Marshall full stack. Now, the amp head was a JTM 45-100. This is basically a JTM 45, but it is just larger, twice as large at least. And it is capable of outputting almost 100 watts of power. And if you're a Marshall nerd, you will know that this is the predecessor to the highly sought after 1959 SLP model. And in the cabinets, these were the same cabinets he was actually using in Cream because they literally had the word Cream in the back. And those were famously known to have had Celestion 25-watt greenback speakers. So yeah, that's it. I mean, this is a very simple rig. So what I'll be using is my Fender American Pro 1. Now, I have upgraded the pickups to install the 1952 custom Telecaster pickups. These are also made by Fender. Now, these are actually found in even the custom shop recreations of the 1952 Telecasters. And I gotta say, man, that original pickups were really good. Really, really good. However, these new pickups are absolutely insane. And really brought it back to that vintage vibe. It's just incredible. Now, from the guitar, I'm going into my Marshall Blues Breaker reissue. So this is basically half what the JTM 45-100 is. Or at least that's the closest I can get from the amps I have right now. It's worth it also that the power tubes are different because the JTM 45-100 used to have KT66s, whereas the Blues Breaker I have, well, they used to also come with KT66s at some point, but the one I have comes with 5881s, which are absolutely incredible sounding. So anyway, I'm going to push this amp really hard and I'm going to attenuate it. Now here's the thing, I'm using reactive attenuators, so this is as close as you can get to a real cranked amp in the room. Also, I have a 4x12 cabinet with Celestion greenbacks, 25 watts each. So I'm actually bypassing the speakers. I'm going right into the 4x12 cabinet. huge fan of Gibson guitars, all right? You've seen me play my Les Paul into the Crank Marshall Blues Breaker all the time. However, every now and then I want a different flavor. This is why I love amps and different guitars, you know. I don't like to have a lot of redundancy in my rig in general. But anyway, I think just trying something different, you're gonna get amazing results all the time. Just try different combinations. A Telecaster into a Marshall is not a common combination. So I think this is what Eric Clapton was thinking maybe at the time. Because Eric Clapton, up until Cream, was using a lot of Gibson guitars. He used some Fenders here and there, but he was mostly playing Gibson. So I think this was a huge change for him and his tone. And I gotta say, the way I play into this rig is very different when I plug my Les Paul, and very different when I plug any other guitar or go with any other cabinet. And I think this is the point. I think this is what Eric Clapton was trying to do, or starting to do, because he was doing this a lot in the 70s and the 80s until he kind of settled down with just dumble amps, which is a good way to settle down, of course. And even when he was recording the studio album for Blind Faith, he was actually going between the Telecaster and a Gibson Les Paul, and also using the Marshall amp with a Braun panel amp by Fender. So when I was watching the live performance I referenced earlier in this video, I was like, you know what, I can get something close, and I tried it, and I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, just wanted to share this one tone with you. I'll be making similar videos. The point is not really to get the tone 100%, as I mentioned, but I think it's a very nice experiment. Now let me know what you think in the comment section below, and make sure you share this one on the gear page, and maybe also share the shit. So that's it for this video. Very simple, very straightforward. Just wanted to try something and share it with you guys, because why not? And of course, your part is to share this video on the gear page. Thank you.